Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Venky's Diary. I've got Venky, the OG, with me, and here today we're going to talk about India's next game, India versus New Zealand. It's a virtual knockout, you can call it, because India needs to win this one. And let's just start right over. Venky, welcome. First of all, just any afterthoughts on the India-Pakistan game? Anything you want to share?
Well, thank you very much, Kiran. Lovely talking to you. Lovely seeing you. Yes, it is pretty much a knockout. If I mean, I wouldn't say a knockout game, India New Zealand. I would say it's a sort of a quarterfinal game. I would say.
Mhm.
But before coming into that, yes, you did ask me about India Pakistan game. Look, it's a sport as far as I'm concerned. I mean, people did show a lot of anger, because India lost, because it was an anti-climax, because it went against the record that India
Yeah.
has done, isn't it? But it's a sport. One team wins and one team loses, and that's why sport is such a fantastic. It's an unscripted drama. Otherwise, it's going to
Hmm.
be a Bollywood movie, isn't it? I mean, it's all.
Absolutely.
So that's what sport is all about. It brings in a lot of excitement, a lot of anxiousness, and so on and so forth. It's just a game, I would say. But definitely going forward, Kiran, India would take a few positives, from what happened in the last
Mhm.
game, especially Virat Kohli's knock. I think that should give
Was
them
a
a lot.
positive, yeah.
Yes, and of course the cameo that Rishabh Pant played. So a couple of
Absolutely.
positives. I'm sure they're going to take it to the New Zealand game.
I think it's fair to say, Venki, that you having played this sport for such a long time, I think it's fair to say that sport should be. I mean, like you beautifully said, it's a game. It's beautiful. It's unpredictable, and I also feel that sport is a uniting factor which brings people together across borders, across languages. Let's just hope that sports remains that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, moving on, India v New Zealand. You've already touched upon it. It's a big game, virtual kind of a quarterfinal scenario. It's going to be played in Dubai,
Yes.
so due factor is going to be there. It's going to be a 7:30 game again. I'm not sure if Virat is practicing toss practice at this point. But yeah, coming to it, look, New Zealand have lost their game as well, but they did give a little bit of a run for their money against Pakistan. So how do you see the matchup against? Are they both equally matched up here, or do you give slight advantage to one team?
I would say they're equally matched up, though I think New Zealand has slight edge
Mm,
over India as far as the ICC tournaments are concerned.
you're right.
But
You're right.
to head, I feel Kiran doesn't matter much. I think you need to move forward. I think it's bigger than head to head. It's bigger than the statistics now. If
Mm,
to stay alive in this competition,
yeah.
they have to win the game no matter what happens in the toss as well. Whether India
Mm,
wins the toss or loses the toss, that should not matter. So I think yes, due factor you touched upon that. It does play a crucial role as well,
mhm,
especially
mhm.
when you're bowling second, when you're defending the target. I think it's not easy to bowl when the ball gets soggy, when the ball gets wet. It's difficult for the bowlers to grip the ball, and also the length varies as well. A good length at 7:30 in the second innings in the night game. The same length is really good to play your shot.
Mm.
So I think you need to vary the length. You need to pull the length slightly more back. So I think those are the few adjustments that the bowlers need to think.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that India have got a long break now. They must have figured these things out by now, hopefully, and got their plans in place. Let me do a quick Virat Kohli on you, or rather, let me be that press conference where Virat was bamboozled. Are you going to drop Rohit Sharma, Venki?
Or definitely not. Definitely not. I think that was, I don't know where the question came from. I mean, how could anybody think,
I think here's what I think. I mean, the guy got an opportunity and he's like, okay, let me see how to stand out. How can I make this press con all about me, and how can I make the headline? Anyway, not getting into that, like you rightly said, irrelevant question much. But coming to India 11, there were a lot of talks that India kind of could change their 11 with maybe Pandya not given the opportunity. Also considering that New Zealand also have a left arm fast bowler in Bold, and how we saw Afridi was a bit of a trouble. Are you perhaps could you see that maybe Ishan Kishan could be thrown in the top of the order to change a bit of plans?
Well, that's a possibility, Kiran. So I think I've got a couple of options as far as the playing 11 is concerned.
Yeah.
One is, of course, it all depends on whether Hardik Pandya would be able to contribute a couple of overs actually if he does get played in the 11. It's about his fitness. It's about his contribution with the ball. If he contributes at least a couple of overs, that would give Virat Kohli the sixth option.
Mm.
So I think they will all be the whole team management, Virat Kohli, and everybody would be waiting to see how Hardik Pandya does when it comes to his fitness, or would he be able to give, say, about a couple of overs.
Yeah.
Then the only change I would think of is bringing in Shardul Thakur in place of Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Movie. Okay.
Yeah. If it's only if Hardik Pandya could give a couple of overs. But
Venky, yeah, please go on. Please go.
sorry, but if my other possibility is if Hardik is not fit to bowl, right, and if he's not fit to play in the, then I think it's a lot of headache. I think maybe a couple of changes we can see a couple of changes where we can bring in Ishan Kishan in place of Hardik Pandya, and of course Shardul Thakur in place of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. But that still doesn't give the sixth bowling option for Virat Kohli in that second option that I just shared with you.
Yeah, there are a couple of concerns for sure. One is the sixth bowling option. Let me specifically ask you about Hardik Pandya. You rightly said that if he's fit and he can give you that option. But Venky, do you honestly think that even if he's fit, do you think he deserves to be in the 11 current form wise, according to you?
It's difficult. It all depends on how Virat feels about the players and what sort of a feeling he's been given by the players as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's confident about somebody, it doesn't really matter, because we're talking about world-class players here, whether it's Rohit or Hardik Pandya, KL Rahul. They're all world-class players, so they can come good at any point of time, like how David Warner played the previous game, right?
Yeah.
So you never know; anything can happen in this
Fair
game.
point.
Obviously, it all depends on the kind of confidence that Virat has in each and every. So if Hardik is fit, I think there might be just one change. I would feel Shardul Thakur in place of Bhuvi, and if Hardik is not fit, then I would go in with two changes. That is Ishan and Shardul Thakur, and again in place of Bhuvi, and that still gives Virat Kohli only five bowling options. That's about it. So the sixth bowling option is a huge void.
Also, Venky, speaking about spin, in terms of facing spin, Ish Sodhi and Santner are going to be in the opposite ranks, and we have seen them in the past trouble Indian batters. So, how would you see Indians lining up to kind of counter this? Do you think they're going to go up with the same two spinners, or do you think an Ashwin might be brought in, considering there are a lot of left-handers in New Zealand?
Well, that's a very good point, Kiran. No doubt about it. Yes, considering their left-hand batsman, of course, Ashwin, bringing in Ashwin does some bit of sense. But again, I would say, Kiran, three spinners is a bit too much. And if Virat Kohli loses the toss, then he'll be defending the target. So it's not going to be easy for the spinners to grip the ball or bowl, in the back end of the match.
That's a fair call. I think it's fair to say that it would have been a great thing if the toss wouldn't have mattered so much. But look, that's what it is. And I'm pretty sure our team, the captains, they're professionals, Venky. You know this. I mean, I'm sure you've encountered dues too. So how would you, just to finally kind of get a understanding on this, as a player, as a bowler, how impactful is it to go into a game thinking that, oh my God, there's going to be a lot of dew? How am I going to go about it?
It's very simple. I would say, look, if you lose the toss and have to bat first, then you need to put at least 175 on board so that you give that 20-25 runs cushion to the bowlers. I think that's all you need to be thinking about. And yes, if you're going to defend the target, the bowlers need to alter the lens, and yeah, they need to believe in themselves. So it's as simple as that, and alter the lens and adapt to the condition as quickly as possible.
Also, it's a great opportunity for India to kind of get a one up in the ICC tournament against New Zealand. I mean, they have beaten us in a lot of ICC tournaments. So, finally, your thoughts? Do you think that that record could be broken because West Indies hadn't lost against England and they badly lost? India hadn't lost against Pakistan. We lost. So, is it time for India to maybe change that record?
Well, records are meant to be broken, so I hope that they win against New Zealand.
I hope so too, Venky. On that note, I would love to, check your predictions, but I think you just told me that you would love to watch India win. But just can we get a prediction, if at all?
Well, look, it's very difficult to predict, but then I would like to see India win.
Hmm.
Well, it's going to be very difficult going forward.
Fair enough. Prediction is not that easy, but you would like India to win. Awesome. On that note, I'm going to end the show, Venky. It was great pleasure talking to you once again. Hopefully, India will win this game, and we'll talk about the next game soon. Until
Thank-
then, guys, take care. Bye bye.
Thanks, Kiran. Bye.